Well, good morning from Le Mans on the first day of scrutineering, the first official day of any kind of action for the 2019 Le Mans 24 Hours. This is the first of a series of daily podcasts we'll be bringing you from the great race, the 87th running of the Le Mans 24 Hours, brought to you, of course, as always, with the Marshall Pro podcast by our friends at Cooper Tyres and the wonderful people at the Justice Brothers. And it'll be Stephen Kilbey, my partner in crime at Daily Sports Car and at Racer.com, interviewing a number of people, as many as we can get our hands on, for 5 minutes or more in scrutineering here, and then throughout the week from the paddock as we count down towards the Le Mans 24 Hours next Saturday and into Sunday, of course, which will decide not only who is going to take the laurels at this great race in all four of the classes, but also who are going to be crowned the FIWC World Champions in every single class. Thank you, Marcus Schorig, as he goes past and barracks me. We're going to get plenty of that too. Spirits are high. The sun is high in the sky as well as we get just beyond lunchtime. I wish we got morning, but it's actually afternoon here. But we're expecting rather mixed conditions for the remainder of the Le Mans week. Maybe a bit of rain coming through into track action into the race itself. Not going to get a full dry race, I don't think, in 2019. Let's wait and see. But for now, welcome to Le Mans, and let's get on with the action. Kazuki Nakajima to the scrutineering. Kaz, probably more than any other driver here, you know the ups and downs of the Le Mans 24 Hours. Coming into the end of what's been the longest World Championship season, I think, in any World Motorsport Championship. How are you feeling coming into the second Le Mans 24 Hours this season?
In a way we are quite relaxed, and because we feel, I think we are well prepared. And because of last year's result, we know that we can make it, not like year before. So it's, I think, good atmosphere in whole team, and let's see what we can deliver.
A lot of the focus, you'll be aware, we're all aware, has been on one of your teammates, but let's focus on you at the moment. You could be becoming the first ever FIA World Champion from your home country of Japan.
Yeah,
it's pretty special.
Yeah, it is special, and it has been my biggest target since I started to work. So, I would say it's more important than maybe winning Le Mans this year. For me, winning championship is more important. So, of course, we try to win, but we basically do everything we achieve that target. Yeah.
Final question from me. You've been with this program from the very start, and the technology in these cars has made such amazing strides through that time. Tell us a little bit now, with your experience of driving some phenomenal race cars in Formula One and sports cars and single-seaters, just how the TS050 compares, just what it is like here at Le Mans, driving that machine.
Yeah, basically this car is optimized for this track. So all those hybrid power, basically we can extract everything at this track, but not in the other WEC track. So it feels really special, exciting to drive, and compared to the other WEC track, as soon as you drive this car in Le Mans, it's easy to feel that this car is, to drive for this track. So it's amazing. I mean, especially the acceleration of the car is really, you have 1,000 horsepower for a long time. And the speed difference between the GT cars maybe a bit too much sometimes, but it's nice to have it.
Final question is about, I guess the extremes that you can actually feel here at the Le Mans 24 Hours. Mm-hmm. You have had a unique 2 years at Le Mans, with triumph last year and then year before, an astonishing finish that none of us will ever forget. Just want to take you back to that moment for just a moment and tell us what was in your mind as that was unfolding before you.
You mean 16?
16, apologies.
Yeah. Well, of course it was unforgettable moment, and in a way maybe I was luckier to be in the car rather than watching from outside, because I was basically quite busy trying to fix the issue we had. And so until we stop the car or restart and take the checkered flag, I was too busy to digest what was going on. So I was still in the focused mode. But of course what happened was really unbelievable and was sad for everybody. But
Is that an easier question to answer now you've actually had the luck go the other way?
Of course, yeah. It is much easier. Because of last year's win, I can now finally say that it was a good experience, and it was maybe experience that we needed to win this race. So, in that way, I'm really happy that we had the win last year.
Kazuki, good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
First up, first through for the scrutineering admin checks, Jackie Chan DC Racing. And, the two names behind Jackie Chan DC Racing, on my right, Sam Hignett from Giedo Sports, on my left, David Cheng from Jackie Chan DC Racing. Gentlemen, it's been a long season. Still in the hunt with both cars for the championship win. This is a place where both of you have seen just massive success with these B2 two cars. Let's ask Sam first. What do you think? It looks like a hell of a race ahead.
Yeah, I think it will be a great race, and with the driver lineup we've got in 37, as you say, they're going to be right up there. The guys in 38 we know are capable of doing the job round here. So you obviously need a huge amount of luck here, but I think the crew have put the preparation in, the drivers have all been training very hard physically and on the simulators, so I think we're in good shape.
David, It's been a long journey with DC Racing. There's so many stories through the Asian Le Mans programs. Your young Thomas Laurent will have a word about Thomas in just a moment or two. What's your mindset coming in here?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a, how can you say it, let whatever comes. I think from team-wise, we're very well prepared. I think the test day, not just the lap times, but actually for me, it was the comments from the driver who said at the end of the test, they're very happy and comfortable with the car. And usually at Le Mans, when the drivers are comfortable, that's when you have a quick car. So, from my side, I think, the team's very well prepared now. We've done this, it's not the first time anymore. We're coming in with experience, and now it's just going racing. And, the weather on Saturday evening is, I think, going to be quite a big factor for the race, let's say. From what I've seen, big rain.
Big rain, yeah. Tend to agree. Let's talk about the great race itself. Now, one of the things that's not been talked about very much, everybody talks about Toyota and they're going to walk it, Everybody's ignoring the second most successful team in the Le Mans 24 Hours on this grid, and that is Jackie Chan DC Racing. 2 overall podium finishes, second place overall. No one else here has done that.
Wow,
Can it happen again?
Well, I think in this race you can never say it won't happen. Obviously, it takes quite a lot of, let's say, different things to happen for the result. Obviously, 2017 was an amazing year for all of us. But I think for us, mentality-wise, it's not to go repeat, or it's not to aim for an overall kind of result. It's more doing the best race that we can. So, I think this year the LMP2 grid is very, it's very competitive as well. And obviously last year wasn't as great of a year for us in 2018 compared to 2017, but I think through the 2 years we've learned what kind of package we need to bring here, what the drivers want, what they're comfortable with, and I think going into the race, I think everyone knows what they're doing. So,
Well, Sam, overall podium possibility?
It's always possible here because there's so many unknowns that happen, but exactly as David has said, we've got to focus first and foremost in winning LMP2 round here because there's so much at stake. There's the World Championship at stake, and the way the points are so close in the World Championship, the highest placed wet car is going to win the championship unless we're miles and miles down the order, but most likely the highest placed wet car will win the championship. So that's our primary focus. Win Le Mans, win the championship, and then if we're in that fortunate position to make a little bit more history, then we'll gladly take that.
That's this week. We then spool forward to the coming season, and we're expecting here on Friday the full season entry for the 2019-2020 FI World Endurance Championship. And from what we understand, we're going to see return of Jackie Chan DC Racing with what may well be a single car.
Single entry.
Yeah. Still working with Sam and Jota Sport, because why wouldn't you? And Jota Sport, as a team name, makes a comeback, Sam. Let's talk about that aspect first.
Yep, so, we've been discussing with David everything we can do in the coming years, and, it's very difficult with the short turnaround and the split season to commercialise the WEC now in P2. So David's done the right thing, made the decision we'll pare it down to one car, but then we wanted to keep what we think is an advantage in being able to run two cars and learn twice as fast and develop twice as fast. So we went on the hunt for the best other customer we could find. In this instance, it was Gonzalez and Maldonado and Davidson who come as a package. And so we've done a deal with them, but running them under the separate Jota banner. But for all intents and purposes, it will run exactly the same as it has done. There'll be the two cars run together at the same garage, sharing information to keep our advantage over the single car teams.
Begs the question, I'm going to chuck in a completely unfair question because I'm not going to guy.
Go ahead.
Which is, we've got a lot of things going on at the moment with LMP2. Chassis, you appear to have chosen the right one. Engine, there's no choice, but there is a choice of tyres. And there has been some movement in the marketplace. Running a two-car team does give you an opportunity to mix it up. Any thought that might be something you want to be looking at? The guys are looking at each other.
Well, I think, to be honest, there's always the debate, because if you run two different tire programs, you essentially hedge your bet. But at the same time, your learning curve is different. You're engineering everything that you do, the setup, everything's different. And even the data that you have to compare, it can be different, which may give us more of an insight what, the other tire is doing at the same time. But, I think it's also, it will come down to between performance, commercial, and everything has to balance out. We've been with Dunlop now for quite a while. Before, even in 2014, me and Ho Pin, we ran Michelin as well. And both brands we know are very, very good at what they do. I think for us now, it's more of making a choice. Obviously, between the two cars, we need to see what the other crew wants as well, what all the drivers think, and then I think we just have to come down to a decision. But it may be split, it may be, all together. I think we just need to iron that out.
I did say last question about young Tomo. To be congratulated for finding that talent and for nurturing that talent. He's going to be joining Toyota. We're pretty sure he's going to be in a P2 car for the full WEC, and I'm pretty sure I know which car that is. I'll be bothering with that tomorrow. A little bit about LMP2 as a kind of talent search, LMP3 beyond that, and whether or not we might see the DC Racing name elsewhere other than just in WEC again.
Well, for us, primarily we're very much based and focused in Asia as well. Aside from WEC, obviously this is our big flagship program. But as well, now that we're expanding more, to be honest, recently we're developing a program in China to train young engineers, mechanics. We want to build more of the infrastructure over in Asia for racing. So everything that we do is with that in sight. Obviously, Asian Le Mans has been a big part of that, something we always evaluate, but also stepping into some of the other championships in China, especially where our financial backers are, where our market is, and where a lot of our new customers that are coming onto the team for some customer programs are based out. So for us, it's expanding, it's doing well, and obviously working together with Sam on pretty much everything. So.
All right, boys, I'll let you get on with the thrilling process of administrative checks here at Scrutineering. You've done this as a driver, you're now doing this as a team boss.
Yeah, a little easier.
Which do you prefer?
A little more relaxing as a team boss, to be honest. I can go over and have a coffee, and I think as a driver, though, it's always more exciting. It's always more fun. You're a lot more involved, but at the end of the day, it's always a pleasure being back at Le Mans.
Next up in the Place de la République is Racing Team Netherlands, Giedo van der Garde and Fritz van Eerd. Boys, you're looking very yellow, as always. The car looks stunning. We'll come to you in a moment, Fritz, to talk about that livery, because that's very special here. We'll also talk to Giedo about an extraordinary start to the race, an extraordinary race at Spa. But let's start off, we might, by scrolling forward. We know now what the plan is for next season, and that will be a change to both team and chassis, Fritz. Tell us a little bit about the reckoning and why, what we're going to see and why we're going to see that.
Yeah, well, it's we want to be more competitive, and I think we can. We've been struggling with the Lara. I think the quality of the car is quite okay. Yeah? We did 14 races and we finished 14 races. But we need to be more competitive, and if you look at the cars that are winning, then it's a very simple conclusion. So there was no other option than to switch to Orica and find a team that knows how to run Orica very well. And TDS, they to us seems to be very professional as well as our team, but they know how to run Oricas, and hopefully it's going to work out well.
LMP2 is a staunchly pro-am class, and there's a very big difference between what someone of Giedo's professional quality and what a good gentleman driver can get out of LMP2. Just what has been the issue with the Dallara?
Well, it's hard to say, but as far as we know, we don't have the right aero on the car, and we've been fighting with it for more than a season. And now it's getting better and better, but it's all about the competitiveness you want to have, and I don't believe that we will be able to set this car up to be a winning car. So,
what's the future for the two cars? Are your cars, Fritz?
Yes.
And what's the future for those cars?
Those cars, hopefully, if we finish Le Mans this year, I will keep the car as it comes over the finish, and then I will never touch it again. And maybe I put it upside down on my ceiling. I don't know. And the other car hopefully is going to run next year in the ELMS.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for. So because I think the guys of Davy Tech, they were doing an excellent job. They were working really, really hard and really connected to the whole thing. But I think I know a few guys who would like to start with LMP2, and I gave them a great opportunity to start with this car because we have all the spares, we know how to run this car, and we hopefully will find some two drivers who will do this.
Let's talk about the colour scheme. Now, you're known to be a man that's loved racing, loved particular endurance racing at the moment, Formula One as well.
Yes.
Very familiar colour scheme, and indeed very much like the badge. There's another reference there. Tell us a little about the revisions delivering the yellow and black this time, and why. And you're jumping up
it's a long story, but I make it really short for you. But it's for me, the passion of Formula One started a long time ago. And I came heavily connected to it since '85, and then I saw the first Minardis, and so I don't know why, but I started loving the team and I followed everything, and now we've built up a strong relationship with Giancarlo, and so now I'm trying to get the Minardi feeling back on the circuit. So this livery we are racing this Le Mans this year is a former 1992 car of a Minardi. So we did exactly the same colour scheme, same colours as they had in 1992. So that's a tribute to the Minardi livery.
It looks fantastic on the car. Are we going to see it again, or is this a one-off?
Yes, it's a one-off.
It's a one-off.
That's a one-off because next season, that will start in a few weeks, we will have a different livery again.
We'll move across to Giedo. Giedo in particular, as I said, it's different from what a professional driver can do with an LMP2 car, what a gentleman driver can do. We saw what you could do at the start of that extraordinary 6 hours. Tell us a little bit about the opening moments of that race.
Well, yeah, it was quite special because we started, I think, 7th. The start was decent. I only took 1 or 2 places, so I was up to 5th. And Vern was leading, and I had a really, really big toe up to Lacombe. And unfortunately, they were braking so early, so I said, let's pass them. So I passed, I think, 4 or 5 cars on the same time, and it was a really good move. I think it seems like our Michelin tires, we get them working really, really early on, and they are switching on really early for us, for the Dallara. So that was good. So the opening laps I was leading, then in the rain I was even up to P2 or P3 in total. So the speed was up there. It was a good race. I love Spa. It's always a track that I liked a lot, and the start was nice.
Enjoying your time with this team?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I'm happy Fritz Fritz got me a chance again to be coming back in racing because I was nearly stopped. I was running a business in Holland, still doing it, but it's nice to be back in racing, and I'm enjoying it. I think we worked really hard with Lara this year to make it work. I think some races we had a good pace, some races we were struggling a little bit, but so far I think it was an enjoyable season, and I'm looking forward to next year.
Swan song, and I'll ask both of you this same question for the Lara with you guys at this race. What can happen here at Laurent? What do you think? You know, you're clearly looking to get the car across the finish, that you already told us. What's going to be possible here from that package?
Top 5. I think if we manage top 5, I think we're going to do a good job. Our test day was already quite promising. It looked much better than last year, because last year we were struggling a lot with the car. And our test day was, we were quite happy. Nick did a really good job. Fritz was doing well. So if we can improve again this week during the week, and we have a good car for the race, I think we can show good potential.
Excellent stuff, guys. This race has got some fine traditions. One of them for a long time has been the Crazy Dutchman. Keep being the Crazy Dutchman.
We
Cheers.
try. Here with Gimmi Bruni from Porsche GT. Let's talk about the season as a whole first. It's been a fantastic one for Porsche as a whole, but a bit of a tougher one for the guys in your car. How would you sum that up? Because although this is Le Mans, it's also the finale of the Super Season.
Yeah, I mean, the season was fantastic. We achieved our main target. It was the Manufacturer Championship, already with the one race to go. And so for me, from my point of view, was really good. Regarding our car, we were a bit unlucky on the last race. We lost the podium, we were third, and also we lost the podium in Silverstone, we were second. So with these two good results, we were for sure in a better position in the championship. We'd say leader in the championship, but for driver championship. But what was the main goal was the manufacturer. We achieved it. So now we see what we can do Le Mans.
Are you thinking at all about the Drivers' Championship? Because although there are slim chances, it's still a chance, right? If something does happen to the sister car.
It's very impossible. I mean, we have 36 points behind. We lost more than 30 points with these two races, Silverstone and Spa. So very hard to get for sure, but we will try to do as best as we can for Porsche in Le Mans, and after we see.
You think we're in for a good race this year in GT Pro? We've got a fantastic field, but you think it's going to be close up and down?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very close. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. You're looking forward to it? It's a nice way to sort of. This will be the final race for the current spec car, right?
I mean, yes, we couldn't ask for better. At the finale WEC race in Le Mans, fighting still a small chance, really small chance for the driver championship, but also on the highs to have the big trophy Le Mans. And yeah, I mean, it's something good. I mean, everything couldn't go smoother as this.
Perfect.
Thank you
very much. Have a good week. I've got with me first Ricky Taylor, who's with Jackie Chan DC Racing this year in the LMP2 class. Tell me, we're fresh from the test day. What was it like, first of all, getting into the Oracle 07, which is obviously the base car for what you drive in IMSA?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the same chassis that we have with the ARX 05, but besides the chassis, the aero is different, the engine's different, the steering wheel's different. It's quite a contrast, but it's what the rules allow for Le Mans, and definitely a good learning curve contrast going from Detroit, a street course, coming to Le Mans. Also a street course, I guess, but totally different style. So you have to switch your mind around, and then kind of getting acclimatized to the car. It was my first time in the car at the test day, and really pleased. I think the guys do a great job here, and the car is plenty fast. So really excited to get going on race week, and see what we have for the race.
Tell me a little bit about how this deal came together to drive with JCDC. Because it's obviously really important to be here every year as one of the top prototype drivers in the world. But where did the link come from?
Yeah, we've been in touch with the guys at Jackie Chan DC Racing for years now, and for me, it's always been the goal to drive for a team like this at Le Mans. And it's always difficult as an American who races full time in a different championship to come over here, and it's like for us getting third drivers for Daytona. It's always hard to get in one of those seats, especially when they always have 3 drivers full season. And I think when they changed the driver lineup in the 37 and kind of opened it up to to a new lineup, and then Will Stevens had prior commitments to go somewhere else, it kind of opened up that seat. And for me, that was just a great opportunity, and the opportunity to bring Conor Minolta on board was obviously not missed. And so for me, it's the best car I've ever been in for Le Mans, and really looking forward to hopefully contributing to their third win.
How are you guys going to play the race? Because obviously you've got a driver lineup, and you and your teammates, you've got Jordan King, got David Annemeyer Hansen, so it's a really strong trio. But the sister car is obviously fighting for the title. So what's it going to be like once we hit the race?
Yeah, I mean, I think Le Mans is a championship in itself, and I don't know how the team will manage it at the end, but you first have to get there, and I think you don't want to compromise anything on either car. Nobody's going to give anything for a Le Mans win. Obviously, the championship is a big deal for the 38, and if we can help them, I'm sure there might be some help in there. But until the 23rd hour, 60th minute, I don't think 24th hour, 60th minute, we're going to be able to say anything about changing positions or something, because it's just such a big event.
Final question: the P2 field itself, is this the strongest P2 field that you've been a part of ever, or let alone at Le Mans?
I feel like every year it seems like it is, and you go down the driver lineup and the team lineup, and it's just incredibly strong, and it's hard to say year to year whether it's stronger or not, but every year it's just shocking to see the level that Le Mans attracts. And so I think any year, whether there's 2 cars in your class or whatever, we have 20 something, it's just such a challenging race, and everybody brings their best equipment, best drivers, best game to the weekend. And so I think if we can pull it off, it'll be all of our sort of life achievements. So yeah, looking forward to it.
I mean, if the P1 privateers don't hold up over the 24 hours, it's an overall podium spot there potentially opening up.
Yeah, they almost did it in 2017, and I've heard a lot about that, and remember watching that from the pit lane. And the team's so strong, and with such a stacked LMP2 field, like you said, it's somebody's going to have a perfect race. Everybody's not going to have an issue, and so it's going to take the perfect race to do it, and the chances of the P1s all having a perfect race is much lower. So I think we have a great shot at LMP2, but like you said, it's there's an outside shot of an overall as well.
Well, midway through what's just been one afternoon, really, bright skies, bright sunshine gave way to a little bit of cloudy weather, much cooler. Stephen, it's not been all that busy here, but for one flurry, really, and that was perfectly predictable.
Yes, the busiest point of the afternoon has to be when the Toyota team came through, and of course that meant Fernando Alonso was going through to see all the fans and all the journalists who travelled to this one. And but since then it hasn't been quite as busy as we're normally used to seeing here at Le Mans. That's great news.
But we have seen some big teams through. Corvette Racing, of course, coming through today. Rebellion Racing will be later on this afternoon with a spectacular pair of new art car liveries, which I can tell you look a lot better in the carbon than they do as a render. I know Andy Blackmore's going to have his crayons sharpened all night to get that one ready for version 2 of the Spotter's Guide that's out and available now to download. Any highlights for you, Stephen?
Yeah, well, it's got to be seeing the sort of mixed opinions about this Rebellion livery. I'm hearing that the garage is going to look like it's been hit by a paintball gun as well. But no, it's been some nice chances to chat with some drivers who have come through from some of the big factory teams. The Corvette guys are in good spirits. I think they're pretty encouraged after test day, aren't they? The Rebellion guys are pleased with the way their car is, I guess. They've got a lot more to come with that new aerodynamic package that they tested at the test day, but I think they're under no illusions that it's probably going to be a bit of a tough ask to take the fight to Toyota, but they're certainly still looking forward to this one.
Well, you need to get back into the fray, so I'm going to hand you a tape recorder, give you some body armour, and throw you back into the melee. But a lot more to come this afternoon, and of course an awful lot more to come the following day from the Passage scrutineering at the Le Mans 24 Hours. We're here with Laurent Vanthoor. Laurent, it's a slightly different Le Mans 24 Hours this year because there's a World Championship going to be given out. It's not going to come your way, apologies, but your teammates sitting in what you can only really call pole position. It's been some years since a Porsche driver won this. In fact, the man who won it is just standing behind you, Rick Leeds. But he wasn't an FIA World Champion. Tell us a little bit about the way the boys are coming into this one.
Yeah, it's also a bit strange for me because, like you say, I'm now part of that crew who needs to be part of the job for them winning the World Championship. And it's not even really an issue that I'll not be World Champion because I was not part of the champion. It's more like, I guess it's not going to happen, but I could potentially also fuck up their World Championship.
And we're not going to apologise for language there, by the way. This isn't radio.
And that would be quite brutal, I think, also for myself. But no, that makes it a little bit different compared to last year. Plus, we won last year, which already makes it a bit different. But yeah, they're very supportive for me, and they told me, look, we know it's a strange situation for you, but we support you and just do what you always do. And
but don't mess up.
Yeah. That's like between the lines and small written below before you sign.
You and I talked to Test Day and about this career path that Porsche factory drivers have. It is all about big races and big titles and big championships. You've won some of them. These guys have won some of them as well. What's the level of expectation within the factory for you guys when you come into a day as big as this, a week as big as this? They're looking for your best.
Yeah, it's for me clearly the most demanding, stressful week in the year because it's very clear that Le Mans is the highlight for Porsche. You can see there are so many people walking around here, which sometimes I have the feeling I haven't never seen before. It's not really like this, but it's.
Laurent is just signing a beautiful model of the Pink Pig. Picked one up myself actually earlier. Iconic car that's going to become very odd, really. Sort of a throwback livery that's become an icon in its own right.
Yeah, I was walking down the streets here because I was having some lunch, and even a store which was selling glasses had it in there, at the window. So it's really cool to see. And at home I have, I think, everything which exists in Pink Pig version. I have it laying around, so it makes it quite fun and cool to.
Let's talk a little bit about that atmosphere here, beyond the race, just the bit of razzmatazz that surrounds this event. We're here in the middle of the Place de République. I know this is an event that drivers enjoy very much. There's a lot of hanging around here. The public can get to see you, they can get to know you, they can shake you by the hand, they can get you to sign their prized possessions. Do you enjoy that aspect of it? Yeah,
it is. It's very special, the way everything works out here in Le Mans. It's cool. And I enjoy it. We're still relaxed now. The race is only in a week. You just need to take care. It's a long week. You need to try and save a bit your energy, especially like stuff like the parade on Friday. The parade is one of the mega things to do because so many people. But you can easily exhaust yourself by it's always a bit delayed, and you wait there, you sit there. Yeah, exactly. You don't have anything to drink or whatever. It's not. It's fun, but you need to be smart. Let's say it like this, but it's fine. I think it makes what Le Mans is Le Mans. I think. You're now at that stage of your Porsche career where you are in a position to win and collect championships, building up a CV. What's next? What would you like to be next? Well, I've always, I think a couple of years ago, I set myself that my dream before I retire, which is still a long way, I hope, is to win the 4 24-hour races, Spa, Nürburgring, Le Mans, and Daytona. At that point I had 2, and then all of a sudden Le Mans came pretty quick. I'd say I only need 1 now, which is Daytona. Easier said than done. That would definitely be a target. And rounding up the IMSA story, started there 3 years ago, and now it's still an unfulfilled task. I want to make a sign that I've won the championship, that we were successful there, and we're on a good way now, but it's still long to go. So, but it's definitely 2 things at the moment which are in my head.
Le Mans and the Nürburgring back to back this year. For the drivers that are doing that, I'm sure you're looking at that with a kind of. What are the guys actually saying about that part of the schedule this year?
It's going to be pretty rough. It's not only that, because for the American guys, it's Watkins Glen the week after, and on Tuesday I test in Spa, and the weekend on Mosport. So it doesn't stop. It's definitely going to be quite brutal physically, mentally. Also not seeing my family so much, but I knew this from the beginning of the year. But on the other hand, I think you can consider yourself lucky if this weekend you're racing in Le Mans, the most iconic race in the world. Next week,
In a competitive car.
Yeah, you're in the Green Hell, the most difficult race in the world. Both in a position, in the car to win, and then we're off to the Great Watkins Glen in America. So you, yeah. So I think there's pretty other people who would, a lot of other drivers who would take the fatigue and the stress with it. So I consider myself lucky and don't try not to complain too much.
Laurent, have a good race, have a safe race, have a very fast race, and the next week and the week after that. And I hope you get time for that little one of yours. Final voice from the first day of scrutineering is going to be Thomas Laurent. Thomas, exciting week, exciting news coming into the week, and by the sound of it, an exciting year to come.
Yeah, exciting week ahead. So, and yeah, I come here with a big news about Toyota. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. But I think and I will just be focused on what I need to do with Rebellion to achieve in good term this championship, to do all my best to be on the podium again for maybe a third time. So yeah, it will be amazing. I will try to push with my teammate to be on the first step for sure. But a podium will be amazing.
You have a pretty unique record at Le Mans. You have a 100% record of finishing on the overall podium.
Yeah. So I just want to keep this record. I mean to keep those 100% for the third year. So yeah, I will do all my best to keep that on the record book.
Tell us a little bit about the arrangement with Toyota. It's great news after an impressive year this year with the Rebellion R13, but you'll be, let me get this exactly right, their test and reserve driver.
Yeah, exactly. So I will, I saw, mate. I saw.
Left the present for them.
They will destroy you.
Why? It's number 3. They will destroy us.
Just Jimenez putting up. The guys have been spray painting their race suits. We'll ask about that one in a moment.
Yeah, sorry. So that's a good news. So I will be, as you said, a test driver. I will be as well the development driver for the new one, for the new car. Sorry. So that's going to be exciting, and I appreciate this the first year with them, because I will have the time to get used to the team, to get used to the new car, and I will be if I'm titular for the second year, I will be more than ready for my first year.
Final question. It's probably a question you can't answer at this point, but I think I know the answers to the question, so I'm sort of teasing you a little. Toyota have a record of putting their junior drivers, their reserve drivers, in a race seat for a season. Are we going to see racing in the WC?
I hope once, but the future will tell us this question.
Well, with Will Stevens, now Will, LMP2 looks like it could be a bit of a war this time, and you're going to be right in the middle of that. You've got a bit of unique aspect on this. Been at the front end of races in the WEC and in the LMS, with the Ligier chassis, with the Orica chassis, on Dunlops and on Michelin's. So, Will, what's the ideal package?
Well, I mean, it's a tough question. I think different conditions suit different things. So, to be honest, I think if you get every package in the right window, they can all be competitive. You know, as you've seen, I obviously did well with Jackie Chan and the Orica with Dunlop in Sebring, and you know, last year we were very competitive with the Ligier and the Michelin. And this year so far, obviously we switched quite late to Dunlop, so whenever you change a tyre manufacturer, it demands a different mindset in terms of car philosophy and setup. So I think each time we get in the car, we're learning, we're improving. And I think the test day was quite positive here. We had a few issues which we should sort out by the race. So I think last year here we were super competitive. We were easily second before we had the problem with the clutch. So if we can try and repeat the performance we had last year, there's no reason why we can't be in the thick end of the battle at the finish. And I think the package we can have confidence in it. I think this year the conditions are looking a bit more mixed than the last few years, so I would be very surprised if we got for the whole race with dry running like we have the last 2 years. But to answer the question, I think every package can be competitive. Obviously a lot more guys are using Orecas than they are Ligiers. But we proved last year you can be competitive with the Ligier.
It's also a race you know now how to win. Okay, you've won it in a GT car, but
last year was really disappointing. Every year I've been here, I've been in the fight for a podium every year. So I hope my 4th year here will be the same. And yeah, obviously winning it in GTs was amazing. But last year would have been amazing too. We were pretty secure of second. We were a lap ahead of third, and obviously with G-Drive not being thrown out after the race, it was a potential win that we lost because of a mechanical failure. So I feel like last year we was extremely disappointing. But let's hope this year we can get the result that we deserve from last year.
You strike me as a man that over the last couple of years has fallen in love a bit with endurance racing. I think it takes a while. You've been at the top end, the very top end of single-seater racing, but you seem to have found your mojo. We've seen a bit more of a smile now from Will Stevens.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like the team atmosphere. I like that you can, work a lot more within a team, and other people experience what you experience in the car. And I think, if you do a good job, you work well with your engineers, and you come away from a weekend and you will always be fighting for a good position if you do a good job and you get the most from your package. Obviously my time in Formula 1 was difficult, even if you did the world's best job. It was hard for people to realise what you were doing, as now if you do a good job, people will see it. So I'm enjoying that for sure, and hopefully we'll keep moving our way forward and get another good result this weekend. So far Le Mans been pretty good to me, apart from last year. But let's hope 4th year now. It doesn't seem like it was 4 years ago that I was my first Le Mans, but let's hope for another good one. I hope. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers, mate.
Forecast rain tomorrow here in the square, and 40 cars to go through tomorrow, this record 62 car entry. For now though, we're going to take our leave from this edition of The Week at Le Mans, part of Inside the Sports Car Paddock, brought to you by the wonderful people at Cooper Tyres and at the Justice Brothers. I have been Graham Goodwin. He was Stephen Kilbey. Our best wishes at home, of course, to Marshall Pruitt, and of course right now to his lovely wife Chabral. Missing you guys. We'll be with you again back here, by the look of it, in the rain tomorrow. Good night.